Reading is one of those foundational principles that impact school, business, career, government, and family. Reading is a foundational principle that if it isn't learned, it has a potential to cripple a student for years to come. In this episode of Educate to Elevate, I'm going to be having a very special guest with Mr. Dexter Humphrey as we talk about the foundation of reading. And we're going to detail on how we can help our students become better readers. Let's elevate. Welcome to another episode of Educate to Elevate. And of course, this podcast is all about inspiring teachers, educators, parents, principals, counselors, school directors, coaches, and anyone that's in the service of serving students. Now, of course, you see that I have these books here on the table, and honestly, I love books. And for the last year or so, I've been challenging myself to read a book a week. Actually, I have a mentor who actually reads a book a day. But I know that reading is so powerful.
Yes.
And today I got a very special guest, a good friend of mine. I guess I've been knowing him now probably
almost 10 years.
Almost 10 years. We did some school events in the community. It was very powerful. And he's just on a mission to help students and parents on the foundational skills of reading.
Yes.
If you guys would, welcome to the Educate to Elevate, my good friend, Mr. Dexter Humphrey.
How you doing, sir?
Hey, man, welcome. So, you've seen probably my library. You've seen how much I love to read books. And I know how much you are into reading books and educating students on reading books. How did you develop this passion of reading and encouraging other students and teachers and parents on the foundations of reading?
Okay, well, in my quest to try to be like you to get one of the 10 degrees that you have.
Whatever.
My last degree was at the Interdenominational Theological Center, ICC, and with a Master's in Christian Education. And we had to do a project on the prison industrial complex. And so we started finding out that the federal government was in bed with these private corporations to build prisons. Well, they had a formula to determine how many prisons they were going to build. And we traced it all the way back to these third grade standardized test scores. If a child was not reading on a grade level or reading proficiently on a third grade level, they said the child was 4 times as likely to end up on welfare or in jail or to drop out. They were 6 times to end up on welfare. So they say, you know what, this child, we're going to track them. It's going to be a detriment to society. Instead of helping them, let's build prisons. Tick me off. I couldn't believe that.
Hold on. Let's make sure I understand what you're saying. So you're saying that they did some research on a third grade student's reading level.
Yes.
And based on that reading level will determine where they build jails.
Right. Yes.
What?
So let's say if it's right in the state of Georgia.
Okay.
Only 34% of all third graders are reading proficiently. So the adverse of that means 66% of our children are not reading on grade level by the third grade.
Wow.
So that means of that 66% pool, they are likely to 4 times to drop out and end up in jail. Mm-hmm. So instead of investing in more teachers, investing in more programs, investing in things that get the kids strong in reading, these fools, these greedy people decide we're going to build prison. When a child is in third grade, what, they're 8?
Yeah.
You graduate, you're 17, 18, you tell me in 10 years, instead of trying to help rebuild the child, you're just going to say, hey, they're not going to make it. Let's capitalize on it by putting them in prison and building prison.
So they're already sort of prophesying or predicting what's going to take place based on what's happened with these young men and young women at the age of 8 years old.
Yes.
Wow.
Well, up until the third grade, a child learns to read.
Mm-hmm.
When you get to the third grade, you start reading to learn.
Okay.
So if you're behind the 8 ball up until third grade, and now we're reading to learn, you're gonna forever be further behind. So therefore,
I've never heard. I like that.
that's how
Up until the third grade, you're learning to read. Then after the third grade,
you're reading to learn.
You're reading to learn.
So if the scripture says, if your foundation is shaken, the whole thing is gonna collapse. So instead of trying to fix the foundation, they say, you know what? There's nothing we can do. Third grade, highly probable by 8th grade, it ain't gonna be fixed. Highly probable by 12th grade, it's not gonna be fixed. Let's go ahead and just make some money off of it.
Wow. So you saw this huge problem that we're having, not only in the state of Georgia, but nationwide.
Nationwide, yes.
And of course, in certain districts and certain states, it may be more prominent in various places.
Right.
But here in Georgia, the statistics say that 66% of the students are not reading on the grade level. So of course, we see the elaborate jails and elaborate prison systems that are going up around the state.
Mm-hmm.
After you did this research, obviously it stirred up some type of passion on the inside of you.
Yes.
What did you begin to do next?
After that, I developed. I completed the journey of the learning my ABCs literacy system.
Okay.
To where all paragraphs are made of sentences.
Mm-hmm.
All sentences are made up of words.
Mm-hmm.
All words are made up of foundational letters.
Okay.
So we start at the basics. So if we're focusing on kids from pre-K up until third grade, we want to get the basics down. So therefore, I developed this system, learning my ABC system, which is a 5-part system. It is a picture and music book. We use for one of my learning methodologies there at ITC, African-centered curriculum, where we use varying modalities of hearing, seeing, speaking, talking, call and response, dance, music, things that African children are used to. We don't just sit there and just be lectured to. That's not our style. Okay. We are a lively people. So my curriculum encompasses all those different type of learning modalities. So we have a picture and music book. We have a writing and coloring book. We have an 18 by 24 inch poster where the child wakes up in the morning and singing the alphabet, seeing the sight words associated with it, and understanding how that fits into the whole process of learning. Wow. And then we also have flashcards, so we can have memorization games, quick identification, and then last but not least, I have an award certificate that's given to. It's designed for parents, but it can be used inside the school. But once the kid has mastered the fundamentals of the alphabet, we have a certificate that we put the child's name on it, and we have a award ceremony for them, celebrating them, and I allow them to post that to my Instagram and on social media.
Wow. So you have this curriculum. And I think we have some of these pieces of. Just drop them off of the set here, make room for it here. You brought some things here.
Yes.
So you mentioned in the curriculum.
Right.
So this is the poster.
This is the poster, right. So typically, all of the images are in the picture and music book. Okay. And of course, the coloring book is the same images, but we just basically hollow them out. So. Okay,
so basically, let's say that's an eye, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for eye, we have ice.
Yep.
All right.
And there it is.
Ice and igloo.
Mm-hmm.
So if we have J, then the J sort of goes with the aspect of jump.
Yep.
So on one hand, we have just these are just basically learning tools to drive home something that should be the foundation of every student.
Correct.
I know growing up, I heard the traditional song, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, and you said that you guys...
Yeah. We totally revamped it. Hip hop, Kent, my brother, so we had to, also Black, Terry Smith, another one of my producers. I wrote the song. They gave me a fresh beat, and we made something happen. So the song is hot, the graphics are hot, and the kids can relate to it. And I think you have to reach them to teach them. So you can't force. One of the teachers told me that the alphabet song that we grew up on, it's like, man, the kids think that's lame. So of course, when he heard my song, my track, he was like, man, the kids really feel that. So they're able to, in the first part of the curriculum, is play the song.
That's awesome.
So you don't have to be, as a parent, it's identity for that mother, that father, that single mom, that single father, that have the child at home. You don't need to have a PhD to use this system. Play the song, and the song basically guides you through the whole thing, because basically you're singing what's in the book. You're singing what's on the poster. You're singing what's on the flashcards. So while the kids learn the song, and music is the most powerful sound on the planet, we learn a ton of things by music. So once they learn the song, Now you can bring in the other books, and what they have been saying, they cannot identify what they've been saying.
Wow. I like the other day, man, you called me and gave me a huge praise report that a huge corporate sponsor, they understand the importance of reading. And can I go on and tell them which store?
Yes, go ahead, yes.
Walmart has latched on to this vision. Walmart has latched on to, understanding the importance of reading. So, big kudos to you, big kudos
Thank you.
your mission, man. But I guess the key thing that I want to impress upon teachers, parents, and educators is that regardless of where you are, whether you are in pre-K, elementary school, middle school, high school, if there is a student that's having issues with reading, I know in certain schools, man, I know at Wild we had the No Child Left Behind type of program.
Right.
We would take a student and we would just move them to the next level, even though they may still have issues.
Right.
But what that crutches them, because once they move to the next level, if they didn't get the foundational pieces from third grade, when they go to fourth grade, they're going to be behind.
Right. Yep.
Or fourth grade, go to fifth grade, or even in the eighth grade, going to ninth grade, they're constantly playing catch up. So I just want to encourage, whomever you are, if you see issues where the foundational core of everything you learn is reading, their program, their resources out there. This program, Dexter, of course, it's powerful, of course, it has a lot of benefits. Who is the program for? What age, what parents, what level of school?
Primarily designed for that infant and child, that pre-K early learner, 0 to 4, 0 to 5. But also, not limited to that, you have ESOL, English Language Learners, or ELL learners that are here in the country seeking to learn the English language, to be naturalized, and they need to learn that. So this resource tool can help. So whether you're 5 ELL or if you're 35,
right,
this program starts at the basics and helps you grasp that.
I remember, this is funny, I remember when I was in grad school up at Lehigh University and I was going through the polymer science program, the country of Thailand had brought over many students in the science program.
Okay.
And one of their bigger challenges wasn't the polymers or the science and the engineering itself. It was the communicating the polymers and science in the English language.
Wow.
And at this time, guess what TV show they would watch to try to learn their ABCs and learn reading?
Sesame Street?
No. You remember the Ricky Lake show?
No way.
They would watch the Ricky Lake show.
That's Jerry Springer before Jerry Springer.
Like Jerry, right. They would watch those shows to try to equip themselves on learning their ABCs or learning the foundations of English.
Wow.
And one day I sat down with them. I was like, okay, why that show?
Right, you're right.
But I had to challenge them to say, okay, you traditionally speak the Thai language every single day of the week. Mm-hmm. But to be successful here in this country, maybe it would be wise that on Wednesdays, the only thing you speak is English.
That's hot. That's good.
You speak English on Wednesdays or Wednesdays and Fridays, because with this foundation of reading or, these fundamental principles, you have to become very proficient, not only being able to understand what you read, but to be able to communicate what you read and communicate with other people. So I'm super excited about what you're doing here. Tell me about this, the amazing adventure of Jumpin' Jimmy. Who is Jumpin' Jimmy and how did Jumpin' Jimmy come about?
Okay, well, a lot of my parents were asking me, my child is beyond that my child knows their ABCs. What do you have for older kids? And so, of course, I love to write, and so I came up with this kangaroo character called Jumpin' Jimmy, and he's an adventurous kangaroo that finds it difficult to take advice the first time, and he gets it right the second time. And so it's a book geared toward for dependent readers, K through 1, but independent readers for second grade. And so we actually tour. We go sometimes free of charge, come into daycares, kindergarten, and simply read to the children. Because we found out that scientifically it is proven that reading to children, just sitting down reading to them, enhances their learning ability.
Right.
It reshapes their brain cells and make them more competent learners. So I take it upon myself, when my schedule permits, to call up a daycare or email them and say, hey, we're in the community. Would you like us to come out and share?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, this is music driven.
Mm-hmm.
My brother Kantis knocked the song out the box. I wrote it. I had a track from one of my friends, but Kantis put his voice to it. Man, he put that Cato flavor to it, and so it's a chant and a dance to the song. So I read to the kids, ask them a few probing questions, critical thinking questions, and then we get up and do the Jumpin' Jimmy dance and Jumpin' Jimmy song. And I'll send you some footage of that.
Okay.
But the kids love it. We have even the instructors, they're 55-year-old women up there jumping around or whatever to the Jumpin' Jimmy song. So
I like what you're doing in an earlier podcast and even some of the videos. I talk about learning styles, the importance of how some people learn via their eyes, their ears, and physical touch.
tactical, yeah.
And what I'm hearing you saying is that you're taking all of these modalities,
Yes.
whether it's the Jumpin' Jimmy or the Learn My ABCs
Right.
or the poster
Right.
or the song that you can download. You're using all of these modalities to help our students
Yes.
learn the foundations of reading.
Yes.
Learn My ABCs.
Right.
Well, good stuff, man. If people want to, bring this program or
Yes.
any of these programs to their school, what's the best way for people to get in contact with you?
Definitely catch me on the web at dexterhumphrey.com, learningmyabcs.com, jumpinjimmy.com,
Okay.
JocelynLeadership.com, or you can Twitter me. You can find me on Instagram, Jocelyn Leadership. Just Google my name, Dexter, and the stuff should come up. Or most importantly, you can just contact my man Kantis. If you can't find me on the web, and Kantis can definitely give you my information. We'll definitely come out and serve you as well. We also serve older adults as well. For the students that we deal with entrepreneurship. Right now I'm doing a project with Operation Hope to where we actually Shark Tank kids. We help kids, and I believe using math and English, our kids can start making money now.
Right.
And so we come into school, we coach and advise, and we help them develop strategies, and we get the worst kids. I mean, they put me in the class where kids had felonies.
Wow.
And I had them sitting down taking notes because every child, I always say money is man-made. If you're a man, you should be making money.
Wow.
So I teach kids.
Hold on. Money is
man-made. If you're a man,
When
you should be making money. So you don't have to wait until you graduate high school, college to start earning loot. You can basically use the basics of math, the basics of English to put together a business plan, to put together a website, and start marketing. So we kind of bring that into the school system, and that helps reshape a kid's attitude. The scripture says, where there is no vision, the people perish or cast off restraint, they lose discipline. So if I can show you the purpose of why you're learning and show you how you can apply that now, the kid's whole attitude towards school changes.
Wow. Man, I like what you've always been doing. For years, I've seen how you have that passion to help people,
Yes.
that mission. You have that message, but also here, even as a businessman, showing people how you can market your services.
Yes.
I don't have many friends who products are in Walmart, like Wally World. And so big salute to you, man. Thank you for coming and share some time here on the Educate to Elevate podcast. Again, I will make sure that you have all of Dexter's information. Of course, dexterhumphrey.com. Joshua Leadership, right?
Yep. .com.
JASA Leadership.com. Is it learning or learn?
Learningmyabcs.com.
Learningmyabcs.com and jumpinjimmy.com. And this is all about our students.
Yes.
This podcast is designed to educate to elevate. We want to elevate our students, whether they're in primary school, to middle school, to high school, to college, to grad school. This podcast is designed to help elevate our students. So
Yes.
educators, I continue to encourage you to do what you're doing. I continue to encourage you to make impact. And don't be so kind to subscribe to this podcast, whether you're watching on iTunes, YouTube, your drawer, your cell phone. Subscribe so that every single week you're getting this podcast. And also, if you love what you're hearing and love this podcast, be so kind to leave us a 5-star review. You can simply go over to iTunes or go to KantisSimmons.com/iTunes, or simply go to educatetoelevate.tv, where you can leave your review. Because the more you review on this, the more people say, wow, this is really a good podcast. And I would love for you to do that. Again, thank you, sir, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for watching. And remember this, there's only one game in life that counts, and that's your A game. I'll see you next week.